Got in the kitchen. Right, madam, I'll see what we've got. Very good.
Richard! Claude. Miss Moss, may I introduce Mr. Claude Freeman? Mr. Freeman, this is Miss Moss.
Aren't we acquainted already? Your face is terribly familiar. Ah, tea. The cup that cheers but does not inebriate. Huh. Aren't you going to ask me to join you in a cup?
Pull up a chair. Miss Moss is being mother.
Oh, another cup and saucer, please.
And where is the lovely Madeleine today?
Llandindrod Wells.
Oh, nerves or kidneys?
Nerves.
Llandudno is meant to be the place for nerves these days, although I can't imagine why. You'd think they'd break down there out of sheer depression. Oh! Strike up the band. What is it this time?
That's cherry ripe.
Of course it is. That's right. You're not Miss Moss at all. You are Eugénie Clergerie, the charming but elusive burlesque artiste. Good God, Richard, you're quite the dark horse.
I'm sorry, Mr. Freeman. I think you've mistaken me for somebody else.
No. No, I never forget a face. It's my portrait artist training, you see. Not so long ago, Miss Moss. Or is it Miss Clergerie? Not so long ago, you sang Cherry Ripe at a gentleman's smoker. Deshabillé, but for a crimson corset. Yes, and Richard was there and enjoyed it just as much as I.
I think Miss Moss was hoping to take tea incognito.
Ha! So you admit it's her. Well, you were the best turn we'd had in months. We tried to book you again, but your agency said you were declining all engagements.
Never meant to make a career of it. I was simply helping out a friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's simply heartbreaking. Well, if you change your mind, I do hope you'll come to me. I'm a photographer with interest in the entertainment business. Richard.
Claude.
He thinks I'm a stripper. And he thinks you're someone who takes strippers out for tea.
Well, I am someone who takes strippers out for tea.
Oh.
Hey, stop! Stop!
You knew! You knew! You sat there watching me do that. You sat there laughing and whistling with your friends. And you didn't say a word. Not to them then, or to me afterwards.
I didn't want to give the game away.
In what way was it a game, Mr. Brazendale?
Well, no one was holding a gun to your head.
How do you know?
I don't know, I suppose. Hang on, hang on. Why am I practically apologizing to you when you were up on stage, prancing around in your undergarments, bringing my household into disrepute?
Oh, what sort of disrepute? Was I doing the dance of the Seven Veils with a load of your monogram napkins? Besides, what manner of man goes to burlesque cabarets, leaving a sick wife crying in the house?
Everyone gets a night off sometimes.
Do they, Mr. Brazendale? See, that's funny, because you've cancelled all my spare time for a fortnight!
Which is probably a good job, because heaven knows what you'd get up to.
Oh, yeah? I might just go out stripping, or I might go out for tea with you!
May, this behaviour is not appropriate.
You're hardly an authority on what's appropriate.
I am your employer.
Not anymore! You could shove your scabby job. I'd rather make my hands bleed down the bobbing works.
May you come back right this moment, or you will be dismissed without a reference.
And you could shove your spirit of ammonia and all!
You're my fire, Jesus, wet, Frank, you sound like a cinder stuck underneath the door.
There's mould in the mouthpiece, Sergeant, and I think the damp's got into it.
And you're no bloody better.
Well, give him your flute, let him have your drum.
No. If there's a drum going begging, I've got first dibs.
And get your own bloody drum. There's been a dud on this landbag since Prince Albert was alive.
Did a triangle do nothing?
What? Look, I need to keep my hands free. I am in charge of keeping time.
You're better off on the pianola.
You can't play the pianola in a marching band.
Could always put him on rollers.
You don't have to do that to make this lodge a laughing stock.
Hello, mate. What's going on? Band practice for the 12th. The gas has gone off in Victoria Hall. Mrs. Quirk's enjoying us.
Chips, pie for Daddy, another chips, and a cod and two for Sergeant Dodd.
Any J's fluid?
By the sink.
All right, mate.
All right, Frank.
Last time I saw you, you were in a bridesmaid's dress.
Frank?
You have a chip?
No, thanks, I don't want to spoil my dinner.
This is our dinner.
Chips. In their paper.
There was mince, but I burnt it.
Any HP sauce? Go on, mate, you know you want to.
I close my eyes, and no rest comes. I close them and a vision of horror rises. Our loyal Star Garson banner nibbled at the edge by moths. Our bond depleted by the war to end all wars.
It's the first proper march since 1914. Everyone will be struggling.
The Breck Road apprentice boys have got themselves a real King Billy, complete with a costume from Belfast and a wig of human hair.
That's what they're saying. They'll have a little lad on a hobby horse, just the same as us.
Don't even get me started on the hobby horse. And would you lay off that squeeze box?
This was Walter's.
I know it was. And he was shite as playing it as well.
We need a bit of new blood, that's all.
What do you mean, that's all?
You can't not come to Mass, it's Sunday. In which case, it'll be packed to the rafters. All the more reason for me to stay at home. Father Mealy keeps asking after you. Oh. Where are you going?
Back to Norrie's Court. For some flaming peace and quiet. I'd like Princess Park 49, please. Mr. Claude Freeman. Coffee is served, sir.
May, I'm sorry if I raised my voice to you.
I spoke out of turn, sir, and I apologise.
Am I right in assuming that you tendered your resignation during the course of our conversation in the lane?
Yes, sir, I did.
I would ask you to consider remaining, at least until Mrs. Brazendale returns.
I wouldn't want to leave her in the lurch, sir.
That's extremely kind of you. In the meanwhile, I shall lunch at the office and I will dine at my club. So you will be free from early afternoon each day. I hope that will prove agreeable.
Thank you, sir, I will.
Oh, and I telephoned Bunnies. They're sending you over some more spirits of ammonia.
Come on, Peter. I spoke to your mommy.
I'm not just doing it for sweets.
No, you're not. You're doing it for Garston.
My face has changed in colour. I look like I've pinched my cheeks. You would? The corset's rearranged the flexion of your ribs. Now walk to the pianola while I look at your suspenders. Very slenderising effect, especially along the hip. Now try sitting down. I can bend my backside. It's a feature of the spiral stay.